G'day campers and welcome to another Thursday Night Live. Tonight I've got with me at the moment Melanie Yeoh and Rose Davison. Melanie Yeoh is from Sydney Remedial Massage Clinic and is a kinesiologist and started out as a spinal cord researcher. We'll find out later when she met Superman. We've got Rose Davison, which I don't want to get this wrong because she's a very important person to me, because everything's about me. So Rose has many passions. However, what is particularly near and dear to her is the awareness of domestic violence and against women, men, and children. She's co-founder and president of Healing Through Love, an awareness initiative started in Adelaide and is now in Hobart. And I'm hoping a few people in Hobart get around you, see this tonight and get around you because it'll all be helpful. So Healing Through Love does an annual Pamper Day event for domestic and family violence survivors. I'll get it all out in a minute. So thank you very much. Tonight's conversation is on mental health, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it. It's a topic that's right on scale right now, and Adam will be joining us shortly, and Adam's over in the UK. He's having a couple of technical difficulties, and that's the best thing about this. You know, it's life at the minute. We're all having technical difficulties. We're all having different things in life. So I'm actually going to start tonight with Rose, if that's all right. And if anyone's watching, feel free to throw up some comments and ask us some questions. But the reason why I'm going to start with you tonight, Rose, is because just quickly we had a chat off air, and you mentioned your current situation. And mental health affects everybody, not just the person who has the opportunity. So it's all right with Rose, if you'd like to share with us your current situation. And
Yeah, my mum has frontotemporal dementia. She was diagnosed early this year, although she's probably been suffering from it for quite a long time. And it sort of came to the fore in July last year after my stepfather's memorial. And so we've noticed, a big decline in her mental state. And now my husband also has been diagnosed with early stage dementia. So I'm having to deal with them both. And I have my own mental health issues as well, which I'm medicated. So, really, I'm fine. I just need someone to rant to every now and again. But the pressures at home, having to deal with those two diagnoses, I guess, and different temperaments is, really starting to wear thin, and I'm starting to show my impatience with them both. And it's not good. It's not good for me. It's not good for them, especially my mum, because she doesn't understand. And my husband is very forgetful. And so if I tell him something, within 5 minutes he's forgotten it. And and I get impatient because he's forgotten something, and I'm busy trying to run my business and do all the other things that I'm doing outside of my business. And and I just get impatient. And it's really awful. It's awful for all of us. And it's just awful. I can't explain it anymore. It's very challenging for me, having to deal with them both.
Yeah. Firstly, I want to say thank you for loving them both enough to want to do this, because it's a hard job. Anybody that has to be there for other people when they're not their best is the thing.
Well, I'm just that type of person. I give much more than I receive, and it makes me happy when I can do that.
Yeah. So how do you refill your cup?
At the moment, I'm not doing a very good job of it. I've been stuck in the house 24/7. I go out of the house occasionally. I know that I should leave the house to go for a walk or meditate or whatever, but I don't. I'm too frightened to leave them together during the day because they fight like children. They're like two 5-year-olds when they start to fight. And, I just like, mummy's got to go in there. And sometimes I just feel like saying to them, go to your bloody room. But I can't do that because, they're adults. and it wouldn't be the right thing to do, but that's how I feel. So I don't fill my cup. I don't have a cup. It's empty, and I need something or somebody to come and fill it up for me or help me fill it up.
Yeah, and well, hopefully tonight we can do that with you too, because
thank you.
You in my life, you're an amazing person. Like I'm part of being a part of the campfire is meeting amazing people, and what Rose does for domestic violence people gives them just a little bit of sanity and a bit of love. So hopefully we can give that with you tonight. So
thank you.
I can't thank you enough for being on here tonight and sharing that, because it's real. Everybody's going through pain. With the lockdown, even the healers, the people with the love in their heart, we're giving as best we can for everybody we can. We need other soldiers as well in there with us right now. And they're coming. They're coming. So thank you.
Well, the universe has my back, so I'm hoping that, that they'll come a bit more quickly.
Let's find out. Let's find out tonight. Like Adam's coming in.
You can tell me.
No, brilliant. Well, look, Adam's coming in and out. This is the difficulties of life at the minute. Nothing's going perfect. And now to talk about Mel. Keep in mind, guys, these are people that work through all of their bits and pieces in life. We work through our emotions, we own them, and we really work hard to try and improve ourselves. That's why we're part of the Campfire Project, because it's just amazing people. So, Mel, if it's all right with you, and I haven't even asked off air, are you okay to share your story with what's going on at the minute?
Yeah, of course. So I run a remedial massage clinic in Sydney CBD. I've had my business for 11 years. I do kinesiology as well. We have a team of 7 within the clinic, all remedial massage and myotherapist. And obviously with all the restrictions that's gone on with coronavirus and people working from home, being a CBD-based business, we've basically had to close down. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty stressful. And the impact of it, both emotionally and mentally, has been really quite immense. And I didn't actually realize how bad a space I was in until 2 or 3 weeks after all of this happened, when I started just, piecing the puzzle together. And sometimes you don't realize where you're at until you have somebody to help you. Because I know we reconnected, Scott, because I was at such a point where I'm not a social media person, but I put it out there. I literally just put #help support needed. And, that's sometimes what it takes when you're in a space where you can't help yourself. You need somebody else to help you. And so ever so grateful to be here now, and hopefully I can help support other people.
Well, you definitely are going to, because it's currently a situation that you've gone through. And here's something really important for everybody to know. We're all people that work in the field of helping others. Mental health affects us too. The difference between what we do and people that haven't dealt with it is the fact that we've gone through our own. We keep pushing. We're putting our hands up. Rose tonight has turned around and said, I need to fill my cup up. I need to fill it up. She recognised it. Mel, what happened with Mel? She's lost her business, lost her entire livelihood. I'm going to ask you how you reached out, what happened, and what happened because you did reach out, Mel.
Okay, so I've had a lot of kinesiology to help me through this, because that's something I truly believe in and I think is just quite amazing. We can talk a little bit about how that works a little bit later on if you like. But just the people around me who, since I've reached out for help, have put their hand up to help, and just in the ways that they've done it has just been so incredible. And a lot of it just comes from the heart. People are paying it forward. They're just looking after you, because that whole mentality of gratitude will just spur other people, and it's just this big cycle that goes round and round. And that's something we all need so much more of. I know something else that's really helped me in the last few weeks is just focusing on the small things and the positive things in my life. And it could be, you know, writing a gratitude journal every night, just 3 things that I'm really grateful for. And then also I added to that, it's like, well, what are 3 things that I did well today? Because I wanted to acknowledge that, you know, I'm doing good things, and they could be really little things. It doesn't matter. But like, you know, it's like, you're awesome. You're doing well. Keep it up. So that's really helped. Exercise, because your mental, emotional, and physical health is so interlinked. And I think, you know, the biggest thing is also be ready to try something different. Try something you haven't tried before, because if you keep repeating the same patterns, you're not going to get a different result.
Yeah, I think it was Albert Einstein that said that you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Like,
exactly.
So I'd like to welcome Adam. Adam, have you got hearing and microphones working?
Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, mate, we got you. And look, this is perfect. This is life at the minute. Nothing's quite going right. You're persistent.
Yeah.
It's important to have this conversation. You've brought up
No.
Oh, it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. We'll see how we go, Adam. We'll see how we go. So at the moment, we're currently talking about Mel and Rose's situation, and I'm really looking forward to getting into yours, Adam. And if anyone's got any questions outside watching, please feel free to ask. Are you okay, Adam? Can you hear us okay?
He's gone again.
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Just
oh,
a
I
bit
haven't. You can hear me? You can hear
we
me?
can, mate. We can. That's okay. That's okay. Adam, what we might do is we might remove
Joys of technology.
Yeah, it's okay. So just go and check your internet. Take it off. We'll remove you from the stream. Maybe go over to your phone and see how that goes. All right, I hope you got some of that, because I'm going to. So, all right, go back to it. All right. I'm really looking forward to talking to Adam, because Adam's, you know, like right now, you're looking through his thing. He's got dyspraxia. He's, you know, attempted suicide a few times, and you know, his most recent attempt was March last year. So, and this is all part of it. Alan Stevens right now. Hang in there, Adam. Yeah, because it's worth it. We're all worth it.
Yeah, I mean, we've all had a journey. I mean, I've had a journey of mental illness since I was like a child, because of all the abuse that I suffered as a child. And I finally, in my 50s, was diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar and emotional dysfunction disorder. But it took, you know, that long to be diagnosed correctly and get the right medication to get me on track. Because, you know, I used to do a lot of self-harm. I've tried suicide a couple of times, and the last time was almost successful. You know, it was a long time ago, but you know, it's not the point. It's mental illness even affects children. You know, it's awful, and you don't realise it. And doctors, well, in my day, doctors didn't recognise it, and you know, they just say that, you know, you were being mischievous or just being a brat, or, you know, and they never investigate the reasons why you were like you were. And even now, a lot of kids are diagnosed with ADHD, and I think a lot of them are just they have other issues. I think there's more going on in their brains than, you know, someone saying that they're naughty or they've got ADHD. I think that's too much of a common diagnosis for children who are a little bit more active than others. And you know, they put them on retinol and all sorts of horrible drugs that just wreck their brains. And, I think, they just need to be, it's frustrating for me because I have a nephew that's been diagnosed with ADHD when in fact I think he's got autism, but the person who's looking after him won't have a bar of it. And, he displays autistic behaviours rather than the ADHD. He might have a little bit of ADHD, but I think his medication is not helping him at all. And I just get really cross when medicals and psychologists, think that, they know best rather than, doing the proper testing. Sorry, I'm having a rant.
No, good, bring it on, because it's topical, right? Because I know
it's so relevant.
Yeah, very much so. So, good. Adam, you can hear all right?
I can hear loud and clear.
And we can hear you. Bring it. So, but this is part of it, right? This is part of the mental health process. I'm convinced of it. It's not working. Inside your head, Adam, inside your head is going, shit, I'm not getting this right. Shit, how do I get this right? Shit, where's it going? You're persisting.
Yeah.
You keep going. I'm proud of you for that, mate, because this is sometimes fearful, sitting around talking about some beautiful things. And if it's okay with you, Adam, I'm going to come back to you in a minute because I want to talk about what Rose just talked about, because, ADHD, I'm a bit the same, like if I had been a kid now, I would have well and truly been diagnosed with ADHD and I would have been numbed. And we're not taking the time to get to know people. We're not taking the time to actually fully understand bits and pieces. And somebody who's
we're labelled. We're given labels. I hate labels. I think they're horrible.
Yeah. As humans, we're more alike than we are different. It's just that people have different opportunities to learn, different opportunities to see things. One of my son's good mates at school, right out in the autism scale, and his parents do everything for him to keep him within the community and make sure that he's there. And it's absolutely beautiful. But the length and the effort they have to go to make that happen, it's all worth it. It pays off. It really does, So, yeah. So I want to go back to something, Rose, if that's all right, because I'm going to ask your permission to talk about it. I know we're live, and feel free to say no. Your last suicide attempt. What brought that on?
It's a combination of things. Being misdiagnosed, being on the wrong medication, just too much stress in the household. My husband and I, we've discussed our relationship in previous episodes. I couldn't deal with it. I was trying to change. I was going to a rape counsellor to try and get over my childhood sexual abuse. And he didn't like the changes that were happening, and so, we had a lot of issues around that. And I don't know, I just got it in my head because I was so depressed that, my family, my kids, everything were just better off without me. So I bought a bottle of scotch. I had some sleeping pills that the doctor had given me. I went down to the beach and sculled the bottle of scotch and took the whole bottle of sleeping pills and nearly killed myself. So, yeah, that was it.
How glad are you that you're here now?
Oh, more than, I'm glad that I didn't die. I'm glad that I rang and asked for help. I actually rang my family and said, can you come and get me? Because I don't want to die. I realised, just before I lost consciousness, that I didn't want to die. I wanted to live. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, I just realised that no, I didn't want to die. I had too many things to do. I just had a lot of life to live, and I didn't want to die. But I still didn't get the help that I needed, which was unfortunate. I struggled a lot, and all through the years until I was 50. And when my last suicide attempt was when I was in my 40s. So. It's not that, and I'm 60 now, so, so it's 20 years ago, but yeah, I've only been diagnosed like 10 years.
Okay. So,
correct.
Sorry to focus on you at the minute, but I think this is a really important thing. You've got a lot on your plate right now. How are you holding up?
Oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm starting to get impatient, as I said before. I'm losing patience with the situation, and I really need just to step back, and I need to find some me time too. But my husband doesn't like me going out by myself because, you know, he thinks, I don't know, he's going to be left alone. It's like, you know, he's like my left appendage. He just hangs on to me like dear life, and I feel smothered sometimes. And, you know, and then I've got my mum who she just needs me anyway, because, you know, some days she's fine, most days though she's just not fine. And, you know, we had a really bad episode a couple of days ago where, you know, I almost had her committed because she was just, you know, wasn't in a good place. So
what's the difference now to you 20 years ago? What's changed that you're not thinking about suicide, you're thinking about, I actually need some air, I actually need that, and you know that? What's the difference in your mindset? How did you get from that mindset to this mindset? To sit
I don't
here
know.
and say, I need help with that.
Strong. I've always had a strong. I'm stubborn. I'm very stubborn, and I just decided that, you know, I wasn't going to feel sorry for myself. There was no point. Life happens for you, not to you. So I guess I just decided that somewhere, and I've had, I don't know, maybe I've had, you know, some counselling. I don't know. People have talked to me and you know, mentored me along the way, and not professional people, just friends, and, you know, just helped me in to see that, yeah, I'm a worthwhile person. I have a good heart. I'm smart. Well, more than smart, I'm, you know, intelligent. I'll just say that because I can. And
You can say that.
yeah, of course I can. And you know, I do good at my work. I care for people. I have a big heart. I just did a big Gallup poll thingy today, an assessment, and my God, it is so me. I couldn't believe it, because I've got this boot camp on the weekend, and you had to do this questionnaire. And it is so me. Oh my God, I couldn't believe how accurate it was. It's creepy. So yeah.
Well, you're doing something for you too, which is a good thing. So we're going to get.
Yeah, enough about me. Come on, we got.
No, I know I'm going to go around. If it's okay with you, Adam, I'm just going to hold out a little bit for you, because I'm going to go pretty deep into you, if that's okay. Because I think right now there's something that we'll get right into. I just want to share a little bit with Mel, because her journey at the moment, she was in a lot of pain only a couple of weeks ago, and the one thing that she did, she stuck her hand up, but more importantly, she's been learning. She chose to upgrade herself and put herself amongst good people, which I've just heard that Rose has done, and that really helps her now. How important was that, Mel, to you, to actually start learning new things and be around other people that are doing the same thing?
It's so important. Just basically, if you're surrounding yourself with the right people and you've got the right support, you'll be, you know, doing what you can to take a step forward. And it might not always be a step forward every day. Sometimes it might be a step sideways or a step backwards. But as long as you're learning a little bit about yourself and, you know, what you're capable of, and at the same time not being too hard on yourself, to push yourself to go through everything until you break, I think there is a lot of value in allowing yourself to know that it's okay to not be okay as well. And then you've got the support of the people around you to help you through whatever you need to. Talking to people is just so valuable, because they can give you nuggets that you don't see yourself, about yourself. And, you know, when you have that reflected back at you and you're like, oh, geez, okay, well, that's amazing. It's wonderful. So, you know, if anyone is in a position where they are not doing so well, just reach out. You'll be so amazed at where help will come from. And, you know, I say that from the bottom of my heart, because we had a a seminar, or what do you call it, Scott, the other morning. There are people from around the world. Yeah, it's just so amazing who you can connect with when you actually ask for help.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful part of the current climate is you literally can get people from around the world to get around each other, right? Like that's one of the most beautiful things about this current time. So,
and I think it's going to continue. People have realised that the world is not really as big as what we thought. It's quite a small place.
Yeah.
And I think more online events they're going to continue, more online meetings, such as, what's happening now, because people are actually seeing their value in it, rather than flying around the world or, driving to the next town or whatever. You just get on Zoom or Skype or Facebook or SteamYard or whatever, and you just have a conversation,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just don't get Scott to do your stuff, okay? Don't get him to do your admin.
Don't let me write anything for you. I can't. That's not my skill. Rose, no, actually don't. She's got enough on her plate. So now, Adam, I want to welcome you in because I know you've got so much gold to add into this. And
Yeah.
I'm going to read your story.
Okay.
Because I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Adam's a father to 3 beautiful children. 2 of them having autism, and he lives with dyspraxia.
Yeah.
He suffered with traumatic abuse growing up for 16 years of his life. My daily routine was getting beaten and bullied at home, then go to school and receive the same treatment, all down to my dyspraxia. To the point where I self-harmed and attempted suicide several times. The most recent time was in March last year.
Yeah.
You attempted to drown yourself, but with the power of God, He lifted you out of the water by saying the word enough.
Yeah.
And He gave you a message that you needed to go and help people who wanted to end their lives. So you became a mental health first aid officer.
That's right.
Yeah. And ever since that anxiety attack, you've helped over 20 people and, in fact, saved them. So I describe my attempt as the successful failure.
I
Yeah.
ask you, Adam, what's dyspraxia?
What's dyspraxia? It's like a mental disability which affects the brain. It affects your coordination, and it's like I'm trying to think of a word to describe it. I can't think of a word, but it's really bad. I've never accepted it, never, and I'm just learning to now.
What's allowing you to accept it?
What's allowing me to accept it? Hope and belief.
Yeah. Why do you have hope? What do you hope for?
Hoping that because growing up, I was obviously abused, and I never had the time to get used to the fact that I'm not like everybody else. I've got a disability, and I've never had the chance to, obviously, like I said, learn to deal with the fact that I can't write as neat as everybody else. I can't play football as good as everybody else. So obviously now I've come across stuff like this, like Zoom and all that. There's groups on Facebook with other dyspraxic people in it, and I've started socialising with them, started talking to them, and now I've learned to accept that I'm not the only dyspraxic person out there. There's other people, and now my daughter's being assessed for the exact same. So I'm just showing as much support as I can.
You're being a beautiful role model, mate.
Thank you.
I've got something to ask you, and for my own indulgence, what are your abilities? What are your superpowers? Because every single person that I know diagnosed with a disability, I don't see that. I only see this ability, and I want people to change that. It is this ability. You have superpowers. What are they?
My superpower is the go-to person. Whether they feel down, emotional, whether they're having relationship problems. Also, I know I'm not professional, and there's people who's probably much cleverer than me out there. But if somebody comes to me with a problem, I always find a solution for it. But if I can't, I forward them on to somebody who does.
That is gorgeous. So I'm cool, mate. You know, like you're like a walking directory, because at the end of the day, we all need assistance with everything we do. It doesn't matter who you are. I was having a conversation today with somebody that it's a beautiful conversation, and the importance of encouragement, you know, and it's, you never know what someone's going through. And if you can just give that little smile, that little bit of encouragement, it can make a massive difference to the world.
Yeah, you can. Smile at a stranger, it can make their day. You know, you just have to smile at a stranger. I mean, sometimes, you know, they might, depends on the stranger, of course, you know, if they take it to some other degree. But as a normal, you know, set of circumstances, if you see someone on the street that's looking a bit sad or whatever, give them a smile. Do you know, it can't hurt. A smile costs you nothing. Smile at them. I've often commented somebody, like men if I get in the lift on their aftershave and how nice it smells, or if I see a woman whose hair I really like, I say, you know, I compliment her on her hair. It makes them feel good. You know, honestly, it costs nothing to be nice to somebody. It just, all it costs is a bit of air from your lungs.
How do you feel when you say that to somebody?
Sorry? Makes me feel good. Yeah, I feel excellent. You know, makes me feel good, so it's got to make them feel good. You know, the happiness has got to come sparkling out somewhere. I mean, I'm being told I'm a bit of a unicorn, so, you know, let the little fairy dust go everywhere. So, yeah. And I like to sprinkle fairy dust on people. It's great.
Yeah. One of the techniques I've got is, like, my 8-year-old autistic son. I got him to write on a piece of paper the word disability, and then I asked him, what other words can you make out of that word? He was saying don't know. So I got hold of the pen. He gave me the pen, and I said the biggest word you can think of is cross out the DIS, and then there's another word right there.
It is ability, and I just love hearing that, because in my life I'm so lucky, and I know we're talking about mental health, but we're sort of going a little bit sideways, which is great because that's life. That's what happens. I was lucky enough to go to the Nepean School, and the Nepean School is a school that has kids with all different abilities, and we went there. I was trying to fundraise some money for them, and just anyway, XYZ. Couldn't quite get that across the board. We'll work on that in the future. But I was in there and trying to get some research for myself. And there's this young girl, 14 years old. I'm not quite sure what I know what her superpower is, but I don't know why she was at the band school. But she's learning the big back button, and she has to communicate via button, because it's not non-verbal, doesn't have great control of her
skills.
Yeah, Madeline. Yeah, cool. Grab one of you for that. Anyway, we're sitting there and we started talking, smiling, beautiful big smile. And she shared, I said, talking about music because they're doing a production the next day. So who's your favourite band? 1D. She goes, yeah. I said, is it Niall? It's the only person I knew. Big smile on her face. And for the next 5 minutes, we went through the book, and she asked me to come to the concert the next day. I got there, and as I got there, I was already going, trying to settle into my day, and I've walked in, and I was a part of the most humbling and beautiful thing I've ever seen. All these kids with different abilities, they walk past each other, touch them, let them know they're on. Some of them not singing, some singing, some. And my God, it was humbling. I had all these teachers that were there supporting them, that are actually learning from these kids. they were teaching these teachers how to communicate. And I put communication down to our number one skill. If we can communicate, and communicate is listening, and that's why I love this panel so much, because that's what it's about. It's about hearing each other. And I learned so much that day. And if anybody with any abilities thinks they're not valuable, oh my God, you are so valuable. You're teaching us.
Okay, it's your turn now to fess up, Scott.
With myself.
With your mental health journey, you need to fess up now.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I was on the streets at 14.
As I was, yeah.
Yeah. And I was a mummy's boy until the age of 9. My parents split up and I went rogue. And I spent the best part of my life blowing myself apart. I'm ex-London party boy, came back here, knocked around with a lot of different heavy people, and the birth of my son was painful as it was. I lost my business. I was thrown out of hospital the day I got to see him delivery, and they threw me out of hospital. My wife from another country was from Slovakia with no family here, and my son in hospital. When I never wanted to be a father. I was too scared I was going to mess it up. And I failed at the first hurdle. Not only did I fail her, I failed my wife. And that took me years to get over. You feel it, it burns. Now look behind me right now. And I've got all the people in my life that are my mentors. And I keep them here. So if any time I need something, they are there. People in your life are so important. Every single person is important. And I feel guilty tonight because it's not for me. It's for everybody, but we're talking mental health. We all have it.
Yeah.
The difference between us is the fact that we now accept it and we do this. We put our hand up. That's all.
We have a comment here, Scott, from a Facebook user. No name. Scott, your transformation has been incredible. As someone who has known you pretty much your whole life, I can tell how proud I am of the man you have become. Heart. So that's pretty powerful words.
It is.
So you're worth it. You're worth every energy, every ounce of energy that, we're all projecting towards you tonight, Scott Carson.
Thank you. It's taken me a long time to be able to say thank you. And that's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
What's saying thank you costs nothing?
No, it doesn't.
It costs nothing. It's 2 words. Cost you nothing. It's showing gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions.
Yeah. And so I want to go into gratitude. I'm sorry. And thank you for opening me up, Rose. It's gratitude. And I want to hear from Adam on this, because right now I've been able to share a bit with Rose and Mel. How much is gratitude a part of your life now?
A lot.
Yeah.
I've just got this picture of this quote in my head, which actually I look at it good 30 times every single day, and I now spread that message across everybody. And it's basically stating, if I can survive the war with the battle with myself, I can survive anything.
Perfectly said.
Absolutely.
Mental health, in my eyes, and I'm happy to be corrected from everybody in here, it's about the space between your ears. It's the most valuable real estate you've got. You need to, if other people are in here, you need to collect the rent. I talk about this all the time because otherwise other people are going to own it. If you don't own this, that's where it's at. The most beautiful part, this campfire project, like I don't know any other place I've ever been to where they have conversations like this, where people are owning their attempt at suicide. They're owning that their business is on its knees and they don't know what to do about it. They're owning the fact that they're at home. Their husband and their mum are just, you love them, but they're killing us. You've got kids that have got different opportunities. And now that we're all a part of this community, how much are each of us growing? Each of us.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. I know you're watching.
Adam, so this is heavy tonight, and I'm glad it is because it's just showing the fact that it's all real and all raw, you know.
Yeah.
What's your biggest challenge right now?
My biggest challenge, dealing with lockdown.
Yep.
That's my biggest challenge because I know I'm only a first aid and I'm not really that much of a professional, but all the time, because I don't like ignoring people. I really do not like it. But when somebody approaches me, they need help, whether they're having an anxiety attack, whether they're suffering with domestic violence, or when they're ready to jump off a cliff, I'm there. I will go out my profession and I will help them massively. Like just 3 weeks ago, obviously I was having some self-care myself, and I chose to help others, like this mother and her 15-year-old daughter, because they were ready to jump off the cliff to their death. And I was speaking to them for about a good hour and a half. Luckily, they're still here, but I had a serious panic attack because of that, and it's affected me ever since.
How's it affected you?
Because I already suffer with insomnia due to childhood trauma, I've lost more sleep than what I should. My anxiety has been kicking in.
Yeah.
I've not suffered with depression or any suicidal thoughts, thank God. But it's given me a bit of a reality check to realise this is the path I want to go down. I want to become a public speaker, and I want to help people. So this is raw. This is the path. I've got to prepare for the unexpected here. And if this is what I've got to do day in, day out, by God, I'll do it.
Why don't you become a counsellor?
I've been thinking that. Like, at the minute, I'm just currently studying my level 2 award in mental health. I've already done half the course at the minute, which obviously I've passed so far. So it's just the first, the refreshing the first aid bit. Then obviously I've passed the full qualification. But then obviously I will be pursuing to do level 3, then so on. But yeah, people has asked me to become a mental health counsellor, and it has crossed my mind. But because obviously I was fobbed off by the NHS last year when I approached them for help. Obviously back of an ambulance, I had a seatbelt wrapped around my neck because I wanted to die. But they discharged me themselves. and they didn't think I was mentally unstable enough. So I don't rely on the NHS. I rely on close people who obviously live with mental health themselves. Because I think the best person to know their own mental health is themselves. No professional on this entire planet knows mental health better than they know it themselves.
I agree completely with you, mate.
There's a Facebook user on here. Sorry, Scott, there's a Facebook user on here saying, I raise my hand to the fact that I'm struggling through this difficult time. Most people have been in lockdown for approximately 4 weeks, but I have been, in lockdown since 28th of January, which is a bloody long time. It's like 3 months.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to know who that Facebook user's name is. We could reach out to them.
Okay, I'm just going to, because the StreamYard, I'm just going to flick over on Facebook. So I was actually trying to do a sec. If I can work out. Okay.
What I've learned, I've actually got a response for that comment.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, because I've started watching on YouTube inspirational quotes or speeches. And obviously there was a celebrity called Dwayne Johnson, and he came out, he actually inspired me with what he said. If you've got your back against the wall, whether it's from bullying or mental health, whatever, you can only go one way, and that's taking that first step in front of yourself.
Yeah. That man is amazing, actually. Dwayne Johnson, I have a lot of time for him.
I'm gonna jump on
Absolutely, yeah.
We'll jump over to Mel for a sec, because Mel's met Superman, Christopher Reeve, right? So
Have you, darling?
Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago. I was working in spinal cord injury research, and the grant that I was on was sponsored by the Christopher Reeve Paralysis Foundation. And, you know, if you're talking about mental health, can you imagine what that man would have had to go through from being sorry.
It's all right, it's me.
Yeah. Okay. From, you know, being such a well-known person to going through such an experience where you've become a paraplegic. Like, how do you deal with something like that?
Yeah.
So, you know, the strength of somebody and the support that he would have had around him made him so determined to try and find a cure for spinal injury. Like, that was what he was focused on. It's just amazing.
So what have you done since meeting him? What inspired you to really want to do?
Well, when I was working in science, I decided that it really wasn't my passion. I knew I wanted to help people and work with people, and so I studied remedial massage as a night course, and I realised how much touch and just physical touch is important for people. So many of my clients would come in physical pain, but yet the underlying reason for a lot of that is mental and emotional. And putting that triangle together and, you know, building that bigger picture for the person is really important, because sometimes people don't understand and they think, oh, you know, it's just stress from work, or it's just a bad posture. But if you're coming in for a recurring injury that's not getting better, you've got to look at what else is around that's causing this. And the great thing about kinesiology is we actually look at what's going on in the energetic system of a person as well. So if you're not supported energetically, if there's like holes in your energy net, you're not going to be able to be supported physically, mentally, or emotionally. And just recognizing that there is an interconnectedness within all of that is really important. So even something as simple as, if you're feeling really down, stand up straight and put a smile on your face. It's going to cause your brain to produce feel-good hormones that
serotonin,
serotonin, dopamine. It's just, it can change your physiology, and how interlinked all of that is really important.
Yeah, I don't. If it's okay, Mel, I'm actually going to throw you into the deep end probably more than I always do. I can't see this person. I don't know who it is because we actually need to give StreamYard permission. I'll get better. I might even find another format if StreamYard
You
don't
need
help.
to know this is fine. You just need to find the link. There is a link that you can share on the stream or in the comment somewhere, but they can click on it.
I'll get that comment. Mel, I'm going to ask you to contact this person or vice versa. We'll be able to find them through Facebook, and I'm going to ask you to give them a kinesiology treatment.
Absolutely.
Yep.
100%.
Okay. Because it's what I'm hearing, and what I'm hearing from Adam, I've heard it from Mel. It's finding that person you connect to. Keep finding, keep looking, keep going. Right now, you're in a hole. Been in lockdown since 28, and you've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
Won't last forever, though. You know, soon we'll be out in the normal, but the new normal won't be like it was. It's
completely different.
Yeah, life will be different when we get out of lockdown. It will not be the same. We cannot go back to the way things were before with all this disconnect between people. We just can't do it. And I think people have come to realise that, their mental health at the moment, they thought they were strong people, but, they're finding that they're not as strong as what they thought. And they are needing this help and they don't know where to go. And I do think that as a society, we need to pull together and, help these people. And the medical society also needs to recognise that not only mental health as far as the lockdown is concerned, but mental health in general needs a shitload more money put into it. Yeah. Because honestly, it's pathetic. It is really pathetic for mentally ill people to be turned away from hospitals, from care facilities, from whatever facility there is out there for them to go to be turned away because there's not enough beds, there's just not enough money. It is a disgrace. It is an honest to God's disgrace.
Yeah.
Another rant over. Sorry.
And Rose, I think you brought something up earlier on that was really important as well. The number of people who are being misdiagnosed.
Totally.
Yeah, because if we don't have the resources to help these people in the way that they need their help, it's just going to send them down a different trajectory that is not going to be useful.
I mean, for me, for instance, I was misdiagnosed for most of my life. I was just told I had severe depression. I wasn't told I had PTSD and all those other things, Honestly.
Can I ask something, Rose, on that? How many opinions did you get? Because one of my experiences in life has always been to never just get one opinion.
Oh no, I had several.
Yeah. But that for me is an important process, because anything in life is one person's opinion sound different from somebody else's. Everybody's got different experiences in life.
Yeah, but there's 3 months of my life after my children, when my youngest child was born, that I have no memory of whatsoever. I was so severely depressed. All I can remember is my husband bought me a keyboard. I would wake up at I don't know what time of the morning. I'd go down and play the keyboard all day until my husband got home from work, whatever time that was. I have no idea. I don't know who cooked the meals. I don't know who looked after the children. I have no memory. I don't even remember going upstairs to go to bed. Yeah. I just have this mental blank. I just cannot remember 3 months of my whole life. It's quite scary.
But you're here and you're going and you're stronger and you're helping other people and you're making
the world a better place.
Absolutely. And there's something I'm going to talk about right now because that the person who commented about being in lockdown since for Jan 28.
Yeah, they're
Jenny,
back on here. They said
Jenny,
they'd
yeah, Jenny Gifford. I'm going to get her to share her stories in the next couple of weeks too, because she's amazing. But I want to just jump over a bit, because we're all experiencing the mental health issues. We're sharing the fact that we've all got them. I want to know what your best bit of advice is for someone to just get them out of that hole, just to get that one step. What's something you can take just to do one step? No.
Can I have 2 steps?
Definitely. Yeah.
For me, it was acknowledging that and accepting that you weren't okay, and then being able to reach out and ask for help.
Yeah. Perfect. Rose.
Yeah, I'm the same, but I would just like to put my 2 cents worth in and say that anyone who is suffering through this lockdown with an issue, always reach out for help. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be a friend, could be a family member, a stranger even. It doesn't really matter. Just reach out to somebody and get it off your chest, because keeping it inside and pretending that you're okay when you're not is definitely not a good thing. So what you need to do is get up every morning and smile, be grateful that you're alive for another day, and say that you're grateful. Say what you're grateful for. Say for 3 things that you're grateful for, and I guarantee you that you will feel better.
Yeah, I'm actually going to share that in a sec. Adam, I've got something gold for that.
I've actually got a few myself. One is keep talking. The other is say positive affirmations to yourself. The other is believe in yourself, and the last one is anything is possible if you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. I'm going to pop up a pretty big statement right now, and I just want us all to read it, and I'm sorry it cuts everybody off. One thing I found really hard with my own mental health is that I can't talk to my family. My mum just tells me to go for a walk and clear my head, and my father is suffering too. So I don't want it to worry him. I can't get in to see my counsellor because I can only afford to see one who bulk bills, and she's booked out for months in advance. It's hard to look forward when you feel so stuck. I'm going to start on this one and then start watching the campfire. Go through every single campfire conversation. Find something, watch them. Spend time. If you've got time right now, watch those campfire discussions. I listen to so many. At the moment, I haven't got time because I'm a grade 4 teacher, and I'm doing bits and pieces. But if you haven't got money at the moment, if you don't know where to go, watch the campfire conversations. Watch all the one-on-ones. There is so much gold in there, because quite often it just takes one comment for you to align yourself with that goes, boom, I know that, I can do that. You only need one step. So it's a heavy conversation, but mental health is heavy.
Can I say something about that, Scott?
Yes, please.
Another inspirational quote, a speech I've listened to, it was just the other day, and it actually made me cry hearing it, because I think I can speak for all of us, which says we was taught to always fall back on something in life. Now I've realised I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to actually fall forward. And if I hit something hard, like a barrier, I will find a way to overcome that barrier, because my only eyes and heart will be on that goal, that aim I want to do.
Yeah. Mate, I'm sorry, I've just been distracted by a comment, right? And I'm gutted that I don't know who's on there. Hey guys, if you're commenting, can I just ask a favour? Can you just put your name at the end of it for me so I can? So I really want to address you. I can't thank you enough for commenting, and I don't want to let you down right now because you have the opportunity with 3 amazing people and me to actually get some answers.
4 amazing people. Come
on. But it's just really important because, and this is gold, right? A bit of advice I got was to treat yourself like you treat your mate, because the internal dialogue inside you, that's what's killing you. Because it's funny how when you go to a funeral, you know, and everyone's always talking about, you know, you don't ever hear the good stuff. Because in general, you're good. You really are. Most people don't make decisions based upon anything other than the fact that they think they're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing with the information you've got for whatever reason. You don't try and make wrong decisions. No one's ever tried to make a wrong decision, you know. So trust yourself, and that's another couple of things. So, Rose, I'm going to throw over to you for a minute. We've got to. Sorry, you're running this better than I am at the minute. So Alan Stevens put up over here the one-on-ones. How much did it help you to do a one-on-one with Alan?
Okay, what happened was I didn't actually talk about myself very much. I talked about healing through love, to be honest. I know it was supposed to be talking about my journey, but I don't think I was quite ready at the time. I thought I was, but I don't know. I was more. No, I was ready to talk about myself, but I got sidetracked by what I do, and who I do it for, rather than talking about my own journey. You know, I don't like to talk about myself. I'd rather talk about things that are more helpful to other people. So for me tonight to like open up as much as I did was, you know, pretty amazing.
Yeah,
So the one-on-one with Alan, as I said, I didn't talk much about myself because, as I said, I don't like to.
But
I've got an incredible story to share, but you know, it's just not there.
No, I'm looking forward to hearing that. Maybe you and I'll go out. I know it's so Nels, and I'm sorry to do this to you. You are so uncomfortable doing all the social media, and I know that because I know you. And it's a big step. But what's on the other side of fear?
Abundance. Yeah.
3 other people nodding with you right there. Yeah. How does it feel to step over that fear and be a part of something that you question whether or not you're valid to do that? And you've had an amazing input tonight.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's one of the things I've learned through this experience in the last few weeks is do try something new. You don't know what you're capable of until you do it. And sure, like what Adam said, you might, if you're going to fail, you want to fail forwards. So, you know, trust yourself, give yourself, you know, time to try something and learn from it, because all we're here to do is learn. And the more you do something, the better you get at it. So,
and you need to give your permission to fail anyway. I mean,
exactly. And what's the worst that's going to happen, right? Nobody might watch it, huh? So,
worst case scenario, you know. But we all work on the theory, you know. If it helps just one person, it makes a difference to everybody. So, and you, Adam?
Obviously, I'll make it quick because my phone's literally about to go flat. Nothing new there. What I've learned, and it was a good friend of mine that's actually taught me these words, just simple 2 words for people to actually really think about. They keep telling themselves, no, every word has a meaning. Like for no, next opportunity, fail, first attempt in learning.
Yeah.
LOL, learning out loud.
One thing I'm going to share is the same concept with Oscar at the minute. I'm learning grade 4. I'm learning how to mark his stuff. The very first day, he grabbed his rubber out. He made a mistake and he rubbed it all out. Wanted it out of his life. And I said, we're not going to do that anymore. He goes, yeah, but that's what the school wants. They want to put a big red mark and it's cross and it's a mistake. I said, no, we're putting a line through it and we're putting an L next to it. He goes, what for? I said, it's a lesson. I said, what happens when we get lessons and we make these little errors? We get to learn. So let's improve it. Let's find a way to improve it. Let's not make a mistake. Let's learn from it. And I think that's right now, coronavirus, it's not a mistake. Mental health is not a mistake. It's not something that you don't want to run away from. It's just a lesson. And this is life. Kids everywhere, interruptions. But it's right now, the lessons we're learning. In front of you right here is 4 people that have been through pain, been through a big emotional stuff. And it's actually been the best thing that's happened to us. We've been able to be service to others because we've been through that pain. For me, I'm forever grateful that I have. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm grateful, but I'm very grateful for my journey.
Yeah,
Adam.
Scott,
Right.
I agree with you. But obviously we're going to get people who obviously going to tell us, well, these are just words. So they're right. It is just words sometimes because action speaks louder than words. Now, I've just remembered the phrase I thought about, and it took Albert Einstein attempted to invent the light bulb 1,000 times, and he failed 1,000 times. But on the 1,001st, we've now got a light bulb.
Yeah. You know, Colonel Sanders was 71 when he finally got KFC up and running.
Yeah. So many people knocked him back, right? So,
couldn't do it. Couldn't do it right. Failed business, failed business, failed business, failed business. Up on the wall behind me. Don't give up. If you're hurting right now, don't give up. It's always the last key on the ring that opens the door.
Yeah.
Always. So I'm just conscious of time because we're going right over. And look, it's, these conversations are real. They're raw. Tonight, every single person on this panel has left their heart and their life on the panel. Thank you so much, Rose, Mel, and Adam, for being a part.
Thanks.
All right.
Cheers.
I'm going to, so thank you, everyone. Bit of a rough ending tonight by me. I'm getting better at this, but this is a part of it too. I'm learning. We're all learning. So thanks, guys. Have a great night, and I look forward to seeing everyone next Thursday night. Has anyone got anything last things they want to throw on top of it? No, all good? Yep, cool.
Don't let bed bug spot.
Don't let bed bug spot. I love it. Good night. All right.
It's now midday here.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night. All right,
bye.
Bye.
All right.